I literally broke these 2 fingers on his sword-wielding hand. How do you cut me? I stabbed the boar one in the heart. Why is he moving? So I kick his sister, and all of a sudden, he's 10 times stronger than he was before. How does that make
Tanjiro Kamado, the most durable man in the history of fiction. Don't matter how many broken bones, collapsed lungs, blood lost, stab wounds, destroyed feet, or brain damage he got, bros go always find a way to get the job done. Almost. So, now that we've established this guy is pretty much invincible, let's get to it. And starting off, oh nah, he just looked like he up to no good. I know bro definitely got some restraining orders and PDF files on his computer. It's only 2 things you could be looking at for a face like this. But this is Demon Slayer, not Snowfall. Carvel is not here. But we're gonna start off in this attic, looking at these crusty ass lips, asking somebody questions. I wonder what completely normal scenario is going on in here. As the camera pans up on some, oh my goodness, grade A milk, Makio, all tied up and dripping sweat. Tengen is not gonna want to see this one. Till she gets snatched up in this belt and held up in the air while the mysterious mouth threatens to turn her insides into ground beef. And man, I do not blame him because I would But we transition to Inosuke peeping around the corner. And doesn't he look just adorable? Almost makes you forget he's a back-breaking psychotic freak. Which now makes me realize that's probably why he's my favorite character. But this ain't about me, because he realizes something's up. Because Makio still hasn't come out and gotten her food yet, making him come to the conclusion that she's either busy or something has gone wrong. So then he locks in thinking a woman might be in danger and runs up busting into the room hoping to sneak a peek, but it's empty. It is windy though, so somehow that leads him to assume that something has to be going on in the attic. I don't know what kind of Sherlock Holmes light Yagami toxic girlfriend snooping he be doing, but keep it away from me before he throws some trash looking soup just to try and assert his dominance on the room. But whatever's up there starts tweaking. I know they demon slayers and all, but this a little too demon like. I would've just blew the whole building up, I don't care who in there. But still, this psycho starts chasing it through the halls, trying to figure out if it's this kind of demon, even pushing every NPC he can find, and barging into some girl's room trying to get another sneak peek since he ain't get one earlier. Before jumping out thinking he's Spider-Man and noticing that it has to come down the walls. So instead of wasting any time, he charges up a mean right as this freak from earlier pulls up talking about some, "Where you going, good looking?" Like bro, what? Move! You know what? Die! Getting massacred with the punch. I ain't even know a person's face could go in that far. Bro is for sure smelling his brain right now. He finna wake up talking like Doodlebug. And all that just for the belt to fly past anyway. So after all of this, all Inosuke managed to do was give this old freak's group chat some new material. So we go over to see this grown woman bullying a little girl for seemingly no reason. You look about 35 and got this girl ear bleeding cause the room was dirty. And it ain't even dirty for real. Like I know for a fact that you, yes, you watch it right now and need to clean your room more than this. I see them socks over there on the floor. Wait, is that lotion beside? Anyway, you'd probably need like 8 total steps and 2 whole minutes to clean this shit up. That's how I know she was probably raised by a mother of color. But nevertheless, somebody grabs her arm sweating already like they know what's finna happen. But just look at the veins in this woman's hand. Damn. She was really finna yank her ear off trying to go full Mike Tyson. Imagine never being able to hear Bluebird again, bro. Somebody gotta get hurt. But we see that it's the demon Zenitsu, being the gentleman that he is, coming to save the day. His spidey senses were for sure going crazy, cause ain't no way he was letting that slide. But he just get backhanded to sleep anyway, never to be seen again. Not everybody can be the hero, guys. Know your role. So let's go check on Inosuke and see what he up to. Oh, okay. Let's go back to Daki, where we see this old lady in her room pressing her because for some reason, ever since she started working here, people have mysteriously been going missing and even unaliving themselves. And you can tell this lady is beyond shook. Ain't no other reason to be in here sweating like this. You would think she just finished working out with Diddy and Usher. Ain't no workout equipment back there, bro. What was y'all doing? So then Daki's like, how is it my fault that these broke ass is getting on my nerves? If they can't afford the cat, then they get impacted. As she then cocks her head to the side and starts frying this lady. Y'all bums was broke before I came over. I put this whole thing on my back and built it brick by brick. So either get the fuck out my room or
sit your fucking ass down now and eat my pussy.
Oh, I don't eat fish. You think you're so high and mighty, huh? It's a shame because your husband didn't hesitate when I made him the same offer. Damn. So I hope you can fly. Huh? So now she jumps down to her room and we see this man, Michael Jackson, just in here chilling. And she already know what time it is. So then he walks up to her and yeah, we gonna have to blur this. Cause he's starting to glaze her crazy, maybe in more ways than one, trying to warm her up. Oh my, yo, are they really finna do this right now? Let me go get my. So we just go fast forward to the morning where Inosuke and Tanjiro start dropping lore about the belt demon like it's King Von. Till Tengen himself pulls up letting him know that Zenitsu got packed up and is missing. Probably tied up in the cave somewhere getting diddled with. That's tough. But Tengen tells him to just skedaddle back home because at this point, they just go get in the way. But of course, these YNs do not listen. They gotta get back for their homie. So we move to Tanjiro telling this nice glass of milk goodbye and reveals to her that he's actually a man. Bro, I know at least one of y'all went through this. I need this story. I know Tanjiro wasn't trying to get cheeks or nothing, but the fact that there's people out there getting slapped in the face with no warning in this situation is kinda crazy. But anyway, he walks out and now everything moves on calmly. There's absolutely, most definitely nothing to worry about. Daki is on timing. What did this lady even do? She was cool as hell. What's good with sis? Oh nah, this girl's a freak. Didn't you just get done with Muzan? What kind of stamina you got? I mean, she is a demon. Maybe this is why Akaza wanted Rengoku to switch teams so bad. But anyway, yeah, that lady's cooked. So instead, we go to Tanjiro as he's running on this roof getting some cardio in till he stops before sniffing something familiar. That time of the month? Nah, there's a demon afoot. Who would have thought? Anyway, he does a little parkour before hopping up, busting into whoever's house this is. And I don't know what bro sees, but he looks terrified. It's gotta be like the Big Show getting busy or something. I'd be traumatized too. But it pans up, showing us Daki standing there with the lady from earlier tied up, being held in the air. And of course, Tanjiro cannot let that slide. He is a pure boy with a pure heart. There ain't no freaks allowed in his presence. So he pull out his sword immediately, and now she's pissed, taking this as straight disrespect. You better get your little burnt ass out my face. As she sends her belt flying at him, but like, it's just like a cotton belt, bro. It can't do that much damage. Just take it, right? Oh, and now look at this dude Tanjiro. Bro is literally frozen in shock. He ain't never seen nothing like this before in his life. He threw his sword at Akaza that one time and now he thinking shit sweet. Nah, buddy, the sun ain't here to save you today. As he even says he has no strength left in his limbs and that his body's numb like he been hanging out with Ash too much. Before somehow still proceeding to stand up just fine. I told y'all he's invincible. He even gets in his little stance too like nothing even happened. This little either got super CTE or he made of vibranium. There ain't no other way to explain it. But next thing we see is her sitting in this hole in the wall, just glazing this man, before saying this.
Those eyes of yours are lovely, aren't they? So lovely I might just have to gouge them out and gobble them up.
I'm about to bust.
And then she really sits there and licks her lips like she was being for real too. Like, girl, it's only one thing around here you can gobble up. Tanjiro sits Nezuko down, getting ready to run the ones. Since he knows she be going through it about every other episode. Before they jump at each other, and he uses fourth form to slice up the belt, ducking that post-report card whooping, just for her to send him right back and take bro even higher up on a joyride, giving him first-class trips up to his family. Except he ends up eventually just deflating all of them too. And so now she's mad again. She thought it was finna be easy. Then trying to hit a spinning back fist that he blocks too as he falls back to the ground. And bro, hold on. Is that a woman? You know how mad you must have made her to whoop you so hard you end up in the belt? But regardless, she comes down to the ground and they have a standoff as she starts to glaze him yet again. Would have had me over there looking like this. But she ends it off telling bro he's burnt, chopped, and short. Like, whoa, lady. Disrespecting short kings is not cool. So all y'all short people out there, don't you worry. I'll stand up for y'all. Since I know when you stand up, you still the same height. People can't really help if they short unless you get them BBL knees. So if you're being mean to them, that means you're just not a nice person. Shame on you. As she hits that The Rock eyebrow, as Tanjiro starts to stand up, still quivering like he just got some crazy, as we look at her standing there looking insane. And Tanjiro is a better man than me, cause I would've been out of there. You can have that lady. I ain't know her for real anyway. And then to make it worse, she points at him, showing that his sword is cooked. Bro ain't finna be cut at nothing. But nevertheless, she locks in, while Tanjiro goes into a depression since his poor little body can't handle the water breathing yet. But he can't handle Hinokami Kagura either, so really, bro's just trash. He finna have to start earthbending or something. It's only like 2 elements left. But even then, he will never be my GOAT Topps. And not this one, the real Topps. So then she sends in the belt, making Tanjiro lock in and cut them all up, even with that chipped ass hand-me-down ass sword. So now she is in shock. This gotta be her first time encountering plot armor. Girl, you are in for a rude awakening. And knowing this, Tanjiro rushes in going for the
headshot. 223, she a baddie, rocks a link.
But she gets a clean dodge in, almost losing a nipple as she jumps back. And then out of nowhere, Tanjiro gets bodied by the belt, getting hit straight through the neck, packing him up instantly. That is a nasty way to go out, I'm not gonna lie. And right as little man was just getting some momentum too, he just needed one more day. Except actually, he just phases away like he a ghost as she start looking around, not knowing what's going on. I tried to tell her about this plot armor. Bro has literally never used this move before, and I about guarantee he never uses it again. As we then see Tanjiro just floating over her talking about some fake rainbow. Like, what kind of name is that, bro? That's how you know they just pulled that shit out their ass. Lucky Charms ad technique. But regardless, he sees the opening thread and charges up a fire wheel, but Daki turns around like, you slow as hell. No way you thought I was finna let you hit. As she smacks the birthmark off this man, sending him flying and bouncing all the way down the street. I know Nezuko mad happy he took her off this time. She would have been in there looking crazy. But then as he's laying there stiff as hell, bro just goes into shock like he having a panic attack. As we look and see Daki over there standing like this. Oh hell nah, this bitch having too much fun. She back there looking like she roller skating. Tanjiro probably think he having sleep paralysis before she long jumps towards him off vert, even cutting up the ground as Tanjiro takes his deep ass breath to recover. And of course, without any shadow of a doubt, he's able to get back up and block just in time. Absolutely nobody saw that coming, right? Then he lands and tries to run in, but she pushes back, going back and forth until eventually she sends him sliding. But as the epitome of the Nick at 30 mindset, he charges up, jumping back in, and all while she cooks him, telling him he is sweating too much and it got him smelling like Dave Blunt's belly button, before she starts to walk him down, looking even more pissed, before sending her belt back in, spazzing, but he blocks it till she comes rushing in, trying to palm this man into the ground like he Naruto. But he sidesteps out of there, and then she just starts flying through the air before getting sniped in the back by her own belt. Bro, this is a whole new level of friendly fire. You can't even blame this one on lag. But then she lands on the ground, cheeks all out and everything, while they going back and forth till she gets sniped again with 2 critical hits in the neck and cranium. Just look at her, I know that shit hurt. Finna have to use her fingers to do her ABCs. She for sure lost brain cells. Even the veins of her neck going crazy too. Arteries looking about clogged as a mess, like she just did a mukbang with Phantom. But she finishes sucking them up and then gets possessed, looking like, of course, a demon. So Tanjiro, thinking she lacking, try to blitz in and get an easy lick, but she just smirks, knowing he about to do some weak shit, and instant transmissions out of there. But next thing we see is this girl on the roof on her knees, looking like she just got a hat trick, with her hair just glowing like she trying to go Super Saiyan, and all her capillaries about busting out her body, leaving that man Tanjiro down there befuddled. Blood has no idea what he's witnessing right now. Just for us to look up and see her sitting up there froze, like she just found out Muzan is not the father. Until some random NPC come walking outside saying, "Keep it down, will ya? I'm trying to watch the Anaconda music video." Like, bro, who are you? If I walk outside and see this, I promise I'm not saying a word. Y'all can take my house if you want it. I don't care. But then to make it worse, bro starts walking Tanjiro down saying, "Boy, I know you not out here sword fighting in front of my house. The only sword fighting that going around here is me in my bathroom." He ain't got a blick on him or nothing. He just think he finna talk no jutsu his way out of this. What's the male version of a Karen? Cause whatever it is, it's him. So Daki hits bro with a death stare before standing up, and you can just sense the menacing aura. So Tanjiro looks at her knowing this is not finna go well. But it doesn't matter, because she sends her belts towards him, But with Tanjiro being the main character, I'm like, alright, bro finna save the NPC, then give a speech about innocent people, yap, yap, yap. But, yeah, and guess what? It doesn't end there either. This was just supposed to be a fair and innocent 1v1. Now the whole neighborhood waiting at the pearly gates like it's a block party. And then dead ass, Daki tells Tanjiro that there is no reason for ugly people like him to live. And knowing that he is indeed chopped, that gets bro pissed. Even his eyes start to get bloodshot, looking like he just walked into the bathroom after you, before we see him just standing there, heartbroken. And honestly, I can't even be mad. I can only imagine what it's like for a girl to repeatedly call you hideous straight to your face, especially when she kinda bad too. Bro really could've became a villain right here and not fully understand. But that's when he starts genuinely tweaking, like he actually finna turn into a villain. As we see Daki standing on the roof looking over the city, thinking she Batman before trying to dip. But we see Tanjiro caught her by the belt and just look at bro face. This is not the face of somebody you wanna mess with. So he goes for a slash that she dodges before going for a kick that he ducks under. As she then jumps back out of there, sacrificing half her leg. Shout out Clem. And this is when we get the innocent lives matter speech. So I guess I was halfway right. Only took a couple subtractions off the senses to get here, but we move to Tanjiro blitzing in as Daki charges an attack of her own, trying to turn lil bro into some dairy-free sliced cheese. But instead, he slices through all that weak shit with the goated Hinokami Kagura. And it's so tough, in fact, that she says she can't even regenerate since she got burnt. As he slices through another piece of the belt, and now we see her over here trembling. She was talking all that good shit in the messages earlier. Now look at her. Pathetic. Then we see Tanjiro just slicing the belt like he playing Fruit Ninja, making her decide to jump up out of there, running from the fade, and then try to attack as he comes flying in. So he dodges, then lands, rushing in and slicing that neck clean off. Right? Nah, cause we see this girl literally laid over bro's sword, somehow with a belt as her neck and still talking trash. And I know they demons, yeah, cool. But how did she turn her neck into a belt? Once again, I know she's a demon, but this is a complete disrespect to anatomy. I already kinda let it slide with Rui since he cut his own junk off, but having a belt as a neck is quite literally unfathomable. I'm talking absolute plot armor of hell. So then she tries to attack him while he's stuck, making him jump back. But she instantly sends even more belts at him, except this is when Tanjiro finally awakens that ultra instinct, as he starts deflecting while Daki back here hitting this wild pose. The animators had the time of their life making this. But Tanjiro just keeps deflecting the belts with this straight face, not even stressing at all, till we see he got them all lined up in one spot. So he pins him down with his sword and launches straight to her, slicing up even more belts, spazzing as he gets up to her. Got the sword right by her neck. All he needs to do is follow through. But as soon as he gets right there, we go into Tanjiro's mind to see his sister telling him that he has to breathe. And he takes a fat deep breath before falling over and coughing crazy, looking like he caught that Itachi, as Daki just starts staring over him. And we see Tanjiro staring at her feet, acting like stiff, as his vision goes in and out. Before we see something come in and kick the crazy out of Daki, had her whole face stretching, sending her flying, bouncing from roof to power lines to more roof, and by none other than the demon Nezuko. As now we even see Tanjiro fully pass out, leaving Nezuko to rush towards Daki with another kick just to get that leg sliced off. And then before she can even land, getting her arm cut off too, and eating a belt straight through her ribs, before getting tossed 2 streets over to the side of a building. So then Daki pull up and just stands there talking trash, before we see Nezuko standing up all reattached. And we also see this girl done had a whole growth spurt, even got a horn sticking out her head going full demon, as she instant transmissions to Daki, getting her leg and arm sliced off again, before disappearing and spiking Daki's head into the ground, making her eat straight concrete, as Nezuko does this sinister ass grin, before proceeding to violate this girl, giving her some of the most devious backshots I've ever seen. And knowing Muzan is not going for this, Daki decides to stop playing, bringing her belts back out and decapitating Nezuko. And Shawty is not done. She jumps back and sends the belts in again, cutting her up into like 15 pieces just floating in the air to turn this girl into a puzzle. And then sending another one, but it gets caught, even though her head is still severed, just levitating in the air. Until randomly, we see Daki just burst into flames, giving this girl PTSD as it forms into a whole tornado as Nezuko reattaches herself like a Lego before jumping in the air and coming down with a mean axe kick and following it up, putting her feet all up in Daki's face, knocking out every single ounce of saliva she had, just to spike her into the ground again. Finna have this girl starring in My Strange Addictions the way she eating all this concrete. And she just keeps stomping her as we see she's literally having the time of her life before popping Daki up just to kick her back down the street. Then going flying just to pull up and hit this acrobatic ass kick straight to the face, sending her right back into the ground. And then through like 7 buildings, and this girl still not done because we already see her walking up. But this is when she starts getting tempted by the smell of hot sauce and pouncing on the NPC before, of course, the most durable man in the history of fiction pulls up, saving the day.